Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the situation in Minneapolis, the people that caused this are the ones now pointing the finger. The people that are directly responsible for what happened to that woman, the fatal shooting, Democrats are pointing the finger at the Trump administration. Here are facts. The Trump administration warned Democrat elected officials to please stop it, that you're endangering the lives of ICE officers and you're endangering the lives of the general public. So unfortunately, for some ungodly reason, this woman that's in the morgue right now, shot in the face, thought that she could disobey an order of a federal officer, which is a crime in itself. He reached for the door handle and told her to get out of the car. She backs up the car. I guess they thought they were doing an MTV movement with her wife recording. And now, you know, the wife that's left, I mean, do we call her a widow? I don't even know the term that, you know, because it's a gay relationship, the marriage. You know, I have a 6-year-old in school. Well, you should have thought about that when you were videotaping your wife as she defied the orders of a federal law enforcement officer. I guess it's not logical to say, honey, listen to the officer. So she backs up in an effort to try and get away. But in the process of pinning her in, the ICE agent that fired the fatal shot was standing in front of the vehicle. She then goes forward. I say this all the time. Law enforcement is not Hollywood. You don't go 3, 2, 1, take 2. What you do is, in law enforcement, a split second. You've got to make a decision in a split second. No jury in America will convict this officer. I don't even think indict this officer unless it's a political climate in Minnesota. You got the Democrats there screaming bloody murder. Of course they're screaming bloody murder. They're saying, amen, thank you, Lord. We have a smokescreen to get away from the $9 billion corruption scandal. All the Democrats across the country are reacting. You have New York's brand new mayor. He's been in office now for 1 week. A disaster after disaster. He takes to the podium at City Hall, Mamdani, to spout his view, whatever and however silly it may be.
First, just want to make clear that the news coming out of Minneapolis is horrific. This is one part of what has been a year full of cruelty. And we know that when ICE agents attack immigrants, they attack every single one of us across this country. And this is a city and will always be a city that stands up for immigrants across the 5 boroughs. And I have made it clear to everyone within my city government, and that extends to NYPD, that we are going to uphold our sanctuary city policies. We are going to adhere to them. That is why one of the 11 executive orders that we signed was to repeal the previous administration's order to allow for collaboration with ICE on Rikers Island. What we are going to be doing is following the laws that we have set, laws which have kept New Yorkers safe. And we are going to make it clear to each and every person in the city what their rights are. That's why we took the time to make a Know Your Rights video, because it goes back to the earlier question. If you don't know of your rights, then how can you be expected to actually use those rights? So we are going to take every opportunity we have to inform New Yorkers of what they already can do, and also to make it clear to our own city government agencies and departments across the board, including NYPD, that we are not here to assist ICE agents in their work. We are here to follow the laws of New York City.
So that's the new mayor of New York City. His first week has been the socialist has been a total disaster. So this is good news for him as well. Anything to focus on except for the job that he's doing. The secretary, Kristi Noem, this is how she described what happened.
It was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him. And my understanding is that she was hit and is deceased. We're continuing to gather more information, but this goes to show the assaults that our ICE officers and our law enforcement are under every single day. These vehicle rammings are domestic acts of terrorism. We're working with the Department of Justice to prosecute them as such. We will continue to protect our ICE officers and in cooperation with other law enforcement agencies as well.
Today, it's so tragic and it's so sad. But this woman believed the Democrat nonsense that she was entitled to use her vehicle at this ICE protest. And as a result, in a defensive shooting, this officer feared for his life and fired. And unfortunately, that's the end of the story. No jury's going to convict this officer after you see that he was brushed by the vehicle, that the vehicle was heading his way and then veered right to get away. Up until that point, when the vehicle went forward, there was no way deadly force could have been used. But once that vehicle went forward in the direction of the officer, this is not Hollywood where you can go 1001, 1002, 1003. I know that she's going to veer right now, so I'm not going to shoot. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And law enforcement sometimes looks very ugly. This is one of these times. Let's begin with your telephone calls. Dominic Carter here with you, 800-848-9222. Let's begin with, let's see here. Let's go with John in Reno, line 2. John, good morning. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic. This is another unfortunate case. Renee Good is just like George Floyd, a cool neighbor, somebody to barbecue with, somebody to get high with. You know what I'm saying? But they make
I don't.
mistakes.
The part about getting high with, John, is kind of inappropriate for this setting. But what's your point?
Oh, wait till the toxicology comes back on that long hair. I stand by my words. But anyhow, they both made fatal mistakes. They fucked with the police over a period of hours.
Okay, John, thank you for the call. We can't use that kind of language, John. We can't. Thank you for the call. Let's go to, let's see here. Let's go to John, line 4, New York. John, what's on your mind?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Hey, how you doing, Dominic? So listen, I had a question for you. I don't know whether if you had heard anything about this or not. I heard earlier, but the officer that was involved in the shooting, maybe you can clarify or not. I'd heard that he was actually involved in another incident back in like June or July where somebody actually did come at him with their car, and he got dragged.
Well, John, this is the first I'm hearing of this. I don't know anything about that, so I can't comment on that. The only thing I can tell you is this, that the moment, and again, let me be very clear, if I thought this officer did anything wrong, I'd be the first to say it publicly. I'd be the first to tell you. The moment that this woman unfortunately made a couple of fatal mistakes. It didn't have to be fatal, But the moment that she defied that officer's command to get out of the car with his hand on the handle, that's a deadly situation right there. Cops have been dragged before. So the moment he's reaching for the door handle and she goes in reverse, that is a bad situation. And at that point, all bets are off. So now she goes back. So the police were still in control of the situation. She goes back. Now, with her wife standing on the side with the dog there, recording. Why is the wife not in the car? Why is she recording? Because she's looking for something to put on YouTube, I guess. And so now, miss, you got to live with the fact for the rest of your life that you got your wife killed. And it's that simple. And so now the vehicle starts going forward. And you have the ICE agent in front of the vehicle. Now, we see on the video where ultimately she veers right, I guess, to avoid the officer. But at that point, it's too late. With this vehicle of deadly force, you have already, it's a machine that's several thousand pounds that can kill him instantly. Law enforcement officers have been in this situation before, and you're coming towards him, and at that point, he fears for his life, and he uses deadly force. There is no conviction. I don't even see an indictment. It's a horrible situation. John, thank you for the call. Let's go to Joaquin in Pennsylvania, line 1. Joaquin, what's on your mind?
Good evening, Dominic. My blood is boiling over this stuff. You know, the only thing I'll disagree with you, we have many cops in prison right now who are there simply because it was political. And there's that one female deputy sheriff, you know, whose partner was being dragged, and she accidentally pulled the gun and said, it doesn't matter. You know, it's a split second, and it's high pressure.
But no, that's not why. That's not why she's in jail, Joaquin. She's in jail because she said she thought she was reaching for her taser, and it was instead her gun. We got to be very clear on the facts. Go ahead.
But I understand it. But the thing is, it was such a split second, you know. But anyway, aside from that, you know, the problem is that they have to start going hardcore. When you got this mayor laying out, you know, this red line, don't cross. I would be going in there and I would start arresting these people left and right, the ones who are impeding ICE. As a matter of fact, she was already committing a crime by impeding ICE, and so now you're fleeing from the authorities. So unfortunately, it's game off right now, you know. And
that's not a justification for deadly force. Fleeing from the authority, that's not a justification. The only justification in this case was when that vehicle went forward with the ICE agent. That's a complete, and thank you for the call, Joaquin. That is a complete justification for the use of deadly force. No jury in America looking at the video will convict based on the video that we've all seen. I don't see a scenario, no matter how much yelling and screaming the Democrats do, where this ICE agent can even be indicted. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter. Breaking news.
And we are continuing at this hour to monitor the situation of what's going on in Minneapolis. Unfortunately, we have the woman shot by an ICE agent, a defensive shooting. This officer did nothing wrong. Trust me, folks, I've looked at the video over and over and over and over from different angles. If the officer did anything wrong, I'd be the first one with years of experience to call this out. The first mistake she made was when the other officer went to reach for the door handle. She takes the vehicle in reverse. You can't deny that. Then she goes forward, in which the agent is standing in front of the vehicle. At that point, it is a deadly weapon. A deadly weapon that's several thousand pounds strong. She veers right to get away, but the agent had no knowledge that's what she was going to do. At that point, his life is on the line. He uses deadly force. Steve, line 3, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Steve?
Hey, Dom. Dom, I looked at it several times already. All right, here's my legal analysis. she's number one. She's
Wait. Are you an attorney? Are you an attorney?
Yes, I am. Sir.
Okay, you didn't say you were an attorney. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. She is impeding the lawful operations of ICE by having her car parked sideways in the middle of the street.
We already said that.
All right. So she broke the law. They have every right then to approach her and put her under arrest. She evades arrest, and she's heading right. You're right. As the officer's trying to pull her out, so she pulls away fast, all right, assaulting that officer, and then she's heading right for the other officer who winds up shooting her. All right. The people that are primarily responsible for this, her and her wife there, all right? And I agree with you. The people secondarily responsible are all the Democrats with their incendiary talk that are encouraging people to do this type of stuff there. All right? So this officer should not be charged for the reasons I just said. I'm not going to say she got what she deserved, but when you
I would never say that, Steve. But go ahead.
No, I will never say that. All right, but this is going. Here's what needs to happen more. ICE officers need to arrest more of these people doing this. I don't want to see people get shot, but this is what's going to stop this immediately. If more of them get arrested, I've been questioning why they haven't been arresting more of them. But again, if you're going to let them, more of them keep doing this, all right, they've got to be arrested. That's what'll stop it. And you say, Dom, go ahead.
No, I agree with your assessment, Steve. I don't see an indictment. I see community outrage. In fact, I see fake community outrage because let's be honest now, the Somalian community, just like the Democrat politicians in Minnesota, they want to talk about anything else except for the money they stole. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And they have it now. They have the smoke screen, and of course, I wouldn't be surprised. And we'll see here, Steve. I wouldn't be surprised because the one that's kicking himself right now is Governor Walz. He's saying, "Shucks, I shouldn't have got out of the race." I wouldn't be surprised next week if he changes his mind and decides to run for re-election again. But we'll see. Steve, thank you for the wonderful call. Pamela in New Jersey, line 1. What's on your mind, Pamela?
Good morning. There is a protocol when you approach a cop. Even if there's an emergency on my block and there's a cop in a cop car on the side of the street and I don't know what's going on and I want to know, I always walk up to them and I keep my distance. I keep yards away. I keep my hands open.
Absolutely.
And I gesture to the cop, to my mouth, and I ask him to roll down his window with my hand signals.
Absolutely.
I just want to talk, and I still keep my distance because they're vulnerable sitting in that cop car. And then I ask them, can you tell me what's going on? And, people don't realize because these cops are vulnerable.
Literally.
And also...
And have literally... Hey, Pamela, I'll give you the option of holding on if you want to, but I've got to take a break. But to your point, Pamela, let's not forget Eddie Byrne, New York City, sitting in a patrol car outside a witness's house, and he's assassinated sitting in the car, to Pamela's point. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter. Breaking news.
And we are continuing to follow the situation out of Minneapolis, and I'll repeat what I've been saying throughout the course of the evening. There's one group responsible for what happened to this woman, and that is Democrat elected officials that keep espousing to them that it's okay to engage in protests like this. And we saw the deadly consequence. With me right now, Matt Blaze. Matt, what's your take on this?
Dominic, I've said this 1,000,001 times. When the police tell you to do something, you just obey what they tell you to do.
Period.
I don't understand when there's always outrage. And look, a lost life is a tragedy. I don't care who it is. I don't care what they've done. That's just my feeling, because I feel like even if they were a drug addict, it's a wasted life. Think about how lucky we all are to be born into this world, period. So when you waste your life, whether it's become on drugs or something else, it's wasted life no matter what. when it came down to all of these people who fought the police, they don't want to get arrested. I've always said this. Once the police say, put your hands behind your back, you're under arrest, they're not going to unarrest you.
It's a wrap.
Put your hands behind your back, get in the police car, and then you'll sort it out later. You go to jail, you pay a bond, you get out, you go to court, whatever it may be. Just deal with the consequence. But you're not going to get unarrested and listen to the police because they don't know what you're going to do. You don't know what they're going to do. But more importantly is they don't know you. They don't know your history. They don't know who you are. They know that they're giving you an order and you're not obeying their order. That's all they know. And when you're in a car, an SUV, they don't know what you're going to do. And especially there's a bunch of police. He's trying to go for the door to open the door, and you're driving away. Now you could hurt that officer, other people that are around. It's a slick road. One of the officers fell. You saw him on the side. He slipped. He slipped and fell. So who knows what's going to happen? And like you're saying, somebody's outside. They're recording this. Why are they recording this in the first place?
The wife.
Trying to gotcha, like a gotcha moment? Like, look what they're doing?
And now you want to complain that your 6-year-old child is without his mommy or daddy, whatever the case may be, because it was a gay marriage situation. Hey, Matt, please help me out with this. So the first call that we had, I gave this guy plenty of rope to hang himself. He said it was murder. And I went frame by frame, breaking it down, how this officer did nothing wrong. Then the other caller from the Bronx, he's a regular. He likes to call and hate on me, whatever. I think his name is BB. What's the guy's name? Something from the Bronx, whatever. But explain this to me. Why do some people, I think most people understand this, and I know you know me. You know I have zero tolerance for, you're smiling, for ignorance or for people to spout things that are not accurate. And once you do that, then I'm not going to listen to your argument anymore. And I have to be responsible. If I know you're stating something that's not true, I just can't let you go on for 2-3 minutes with your. Why do they think they have a right to be heard?
Well, one thing that happens all the time is they don't listen. And you have to constantly say, we can't talk over each other. And what people don't know, and I'll give the little bit behind the scenes here of what happens, is when it gets too much, when you're talking and they're talking, it does not sound good on the air. So I have to lower their microphone, even sometimes without you even telling me to do that. I will do that because I know the listeners are listening and they're just hearing a bunch of noise. It's mess. It's two people trying to talk over each other. So when I lowered the microphone, you were talking. He was still talking at the same time. Now, he doesn't know that you can't hear him. And I have to do that because otherwise it just sounds like a big mess on the air. And people don't understand that it's not like you're having a conversation where you're in a room with someone else. You can only hear what they're saying. They can only hear what you're saying when the other person stops talking. So, yeah, how many times this happens, Dominic, where you're talking and you ask them a question, and then you stop and they stop. And then there's nothing for like 3 seconds. Because they didn't hear the question you just asked them because they're too busy talking.
I want you, and then I got to move on. I'm going to go to Norman in Brooklyn. Why do some of these callers, and most people that are reasonable, they know what time it is, they think they have a right to go on with a litany for 2 or 3 minutes and that I'm supposed to sit here and that the audience is supposed to sit here and listen to them.
Well, the thing is, they don't go on with a litany. What they do is they think they have this grand point that no one else has made, and they say their one point, and then you will come out with the answer to that point. You'll debate them on the point or call them out and ask them a question, and they have no answer. So then it comes into, well, what about blah, blah, blah? And they try to pivot, and you say, no, hold on. You just said, and then answer me, and they don't want to answer because they have no answer. Because they don't think past their one little point where they think they're going to get you on what they just said, and that you're going to be like, oh, wow, that's a really good point. I don't know that. Then you come back with a detraction, retraction, or an answer to what they just said, and then they have nothing to come back with. They have no argument because they didn't think past that one statement. And that's why they'll keep circling back. And you'll go, you just said that. We already heard you say that before. This is the fourth time you're saying that because they have nothing else to say. And at that point, we're just like, we just got to let you go. Goodbye.
Okay.
Because you're done. You have nothing to say.
Do you? I don't see an indictment unless it's a political climate. Definitely no conviction. What do you think before we move on?
Who really knows? You know, they look at these things. You get the lawyers involved. There's technicalities. They're going to take this tape and they're going to analyze it and say, oh well, was it this close? Was it that close? Did they have time to do this? What it comes down to is when the police tell you to do something,
do it.
Just do it.
Because if you don't, it could cost you your life.
Yeah, unnecessarily.
Right. They don't want to escalate it to that.
No, they don't want to shoot you.
Right.
They don't want to do that.
But if it comes down to you or them, guess who's going to lose?
Yeah, you're going to lose.
You're going to lose. Thank you, Matt Blaze. Let's go to Norman, line 5 in Brooklyn. Norman, good morning. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic. Okay. I have been involved in protests for many years. I've organized them. I'm an ardent and active conservative activist. Okay. So I know pretty much what to do, how to do it. If you bring a car equals no protest. That's a weapon. Okay. If you bring a car, all bets are off. You bring a car, anticipate getting shot in the head. They'll kill you. Okay, so leave your cars home. This is not part, but that's a hallmark of what Antifa, the hard left, does. They purposely use non-weapon weapons like cars, umbrellas, vegetable cans, rocks in their protest activity. Provocation, that's what it's about. Saul Alinsky, Rules for Radicals. Okay, they don't give a damn about the protester. Okay, that's not. It's all about the movement, the ideas, getting it through. The people that organize, the people that told them whatever, the intranet, whatever, they don't give a damn about these people. They don't care if they get killed. If they get killed, all the better. That it brings more attention, more news to it. Okay, so you bring a car, expect to die. That's it. I never did. I never had anything on me that could be construed as a weapon. Okay? Even my little pocket knife, which I ordinarily carry on my key, I didn't even bring that. Okay? You respect the cops, respect law enforcement, they will respect you. Okay? That's it.
And that's the bottom line. You respect law enforcement. Thank you for the call, Norman. You respect law enforcement, they will respect you. Let's go to Mike in New Jersey, line 3. Mike, what's on your mind? Mike is not there. Let's go to Rose, Long Island, line 1. Rose, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. Let's not forget who the real culprit is there in Minneapolis. It's Biden. Do you realize how much time our president has to waste cleaning up after this guy's messes over and over and over? It's almost a daily basis. So he really is the culprit. That's number one. Number two, Mandani does not want to support ICE, and that's a problem. Now he wants top secret clearance. Why don't we ask Bibi Netanyahu if we?
That's a great line, Rose. I should have thought of that one. That's a great line. Let's ask Netanyahu. Should you have national clearance?
Yeah, we have offices. We have NYPD stationed all over the world in their versions of their intel divisions. Okay, you're going to let Mandami know that there's something's brewing with the Palestinians or Hamas regarding New York. You're going to let him know? I don't think so. And I would pull them all out of there. Now, I'm a big supporter of the police. Don't get me wrong. Huge. And what they get in return, they're on all these task forces, OCDF, JTTF, money laundering, and they provide a great service. They provide manpower that they desperately need. And what they get in return are millions and millions of dollars in asset sharing.
Hey,
but if they don't want to cooperate with ICE, then why do we need them? What are we doing?
Rose, do me a favor. Stay with me live. I want to bring in Victor, who's in Minneapolis. And so, Victor, it says here on my screen, and it says here you're asking whether the deadly force was necessary, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, so what you're on the line now live with Rose in Long Island. So your position is what?
My position is I believe there were 3 rounds that were fired by the officer.
Mm-hmm.
Are you in agreement with that?
Yes. But what is your point? I don't have much time, so I need you to get to the point.
Yep. The first round we know went through the windshield because he was in front of the car. I believe the kill shot, I've watched the video many times, was when he put the gun through the
what is
window
your point? You're trying to break this down by shot. That's not a valid argument. It happens in a matter of a split second. What is your point?
My point is the kill shot was when he was no longer in peril.
Okay, so you think this is Hollywood, and he had time to say shot 1 miss, shot 2 miss. Now I'll take the third and fatal shot. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling you that he put the gun through the window when she was passing him, and he shot her in the head at that point.
Okay,
he was out of harm's way.
So Rose,
when you're no longer in harm's way.
Okay, so wait, Victor. Before I go to Rose, are we in agreement that it's a federal crime that when the officer put his hand on the door handle that she went in reverse? That's number one, a federal crime. Are we in agreement on that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, wait. I want to hear what Victor has to say. We're going to come to you, Rose. Go ahead, Victor.
My question is...
No. Answer my question, Victor. Are we in agreement that when she put the car in reverse and the agent's hand was on the door handle, is that a federal crime?
It's a crime. Is it worthy of...
Okay, all right. No. I just want you to answer the question. So now the other agent... Victor. It's clear. Wait, Victor. Please, I'm short on time. I'm going to let you respond, but there's no point when you start talking over me. I know I got you when you do that. So here's what I'm asking you. So now she escalated the situation by going in reverse. The agent standing in front of the car. When she goes forward, that's not a deadly vehicle, several thousand pounds strong, that could kill that officer instantly?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now, I want you and Rose to talk to each other. Go ahead, Victor and Rose. Go ahead.
Yes.
Victor, that's a deadly weapon she has at her hands on. It's a deadly weapon, and she could make a left, she could make a right. She wasn't in reverse when he shot her. She was going forward. I don't have a problem with this. I just hope they change the venue because I think it's such a hotbed over there. I don't know if this guy will get a fair trial. I don't know if he even get a true bill from a grand jury. I have no idea. I just hope they change the venue for. Listen, we all want fairness. We all want to be treated with respect, and that includes the cops too, and they deserve respect.
Hey, okay? Victor, Rose, Victor, I've got to do another short segment. I don't know if you can stay with me, but I really do want to give you your say if you can hold on. If not, I understand. If you can hold on, we'll keep Rose with us. It is time for a break, that is. We're taking your live calls, 800-848-9222.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Carvana's so easy. Just a click and we've got ourselves a car. See?
So many cars. That's a click-tastic inventory.
And check out the financing options. Payments to fit our budget. I mean, that's...
Clickonomics 101.
Delivery to our door?
Just a hop, skip, and a click away.
And bought.
No better feeling than when everything just clicks. Buy your car today on Carvana. Delivery fees may apply.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we are now back chatting with Victor in Minneapolis and Rose on Long Island. So, Victor, I only have a few minutes left to the show, but I'm trying to understand what your position is. And then I want you and Rose to talk about this. So just tell me, I don't want you to break down the shots. I want you to tell me what your position is on this.
You have to break down the shots, Dominic.
Okay, but why? But Victor, why are you avoiding the question? What is your position on the shooting?
I don't have a position. You'll have to look at the evidence. We don't know which shot killed her. The first shot went through the windshield. We know that much from the visual evidence that we saw. That didn't kill her. She drove away from the officer. She didn't run him over with the car. And then with the Honda Pilot, she didn't run him over with it. He was standing at the side of the car when he fired a fatal round. One of the two that he fired was through the window when he is no longer in peril. His life is no longer in danger. She's driving away.
So Victor, so this is Hollywood, and you think that he can stop and realize my life is no longer in danger and just stop?
Well, I would hope he could figure out that when she's driving away and he's standing at the side of the car, that he's no longer in peril. I would hope that he could figure that out. If he can't,
I want to bring Rose in, but she also brushed up against him with the car. Rose, you're listening to Victor patiently. I want you two to chat for a minute. We only have 3 minutes left in the show. Go right ahead, Rose.
Victor, do we agree that if she just complied, this is all a moot point? We wouldn't even be talking about this. All she had to do was comply with the officer's command, get out of the vehicle. No, she kept that weapon in her hand, okay? And that's what he sought, 2,000-pound weapon, all right? Yes. And we wouldn't even be talking about this if she just complied. Yeah. And it's like that in so many of these cases. Okay, your turn.
It's like, okay, the weapon, let's say, we have to go there. It's like I have a gun in my hand, right? And then I throw it down on the ground and the officer blasts me with it. I'm no longer threatening him with the gun. I put it on the ground. I'm no longer threatening him with the car. He's no longer in front of the car. He has come around the side of the car, and now he points his gun through the window and blasts me with it. Okay?
Well, you
don't know threatening him with my vehicle. I'm no longer threatening him with my vehicle.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Yes, I do. I watched the video. I watched the video.
Okay.
The officers are no longer in peril. Watch the video and see if what I'm saying is accurate. Just go look at the video and then figure out.
Victor, we don't know what else.
This happened.
We don't know what else she has. Yeah, it's about you. You know, they train for this situation. Shoot or don't shoot. There was a situation, I think it was Chicago. 2 black guys. The officer came on the scene. The guy with the long dreads, he was the good guy. They told him they didn't know who was the good guy and the bad guy. The officer said, "Drop the weapon." He dropped the weapon. Otherwise, he would have been shot. You know, but he complied. Yeah. It would be a moot point. It's a very unfortunate thing. You know that people just don't listen.
Yeah, she didn't have. She was her weapon was the car. She didn't have a gun.
But
Victor, we didn't know that at the time.
I think
you
you're
don't know
missing
what
the point.
There.
I think you're missing the point, Victor.
Well,
that
so
cars...
I can shoot anybody. I can shoot anybody because officer.
The point, Victor, that a car is a deadly weapon that can be more fatal sometimes than a gun can.
I agree, it can be, but once the threat is no longer a threat, there's no justification for using deadly force after that point.
But it's so easy to stand here and Monday morning quarterback after we've seen the video. We weren't in that situation. We weren't on that icy road. As Matt Blaze said, another officer standing behind literally almost fell. Another officer had to grab him, and you're just it's like you're. And folks, we only have 30 seconds left. You're ignoring the fact that she did not comply with the agent's order. Get out of the vehicle.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Her disobeying that order wasn't justification for use of deadly force.
Well, when the vehicle goes forward, and I'm out of time, Rose, thank you for the great call. Victor, I want to hear from you, Rose, and you, Victor, again, because we do need to continue this to hash all of this out. Victor, thank you for calling in live from Minneapolis. But the point remains, the moment that car goes forward, it's a brand new game, and unfortunately it ended deadly where this woman was shot in the face. This officer did absolutely nothing wrong. I am back at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?